Welcome to the 55th episode of the pod.
55. Did you ever think? Do I need to pause?
What?
Do I need to pause?
No. Okay, pause now. 1, 2, 3, pause. Okay. Thank you for that jazzy music, Heather. I'm so glad it's always in the podcast.
Did you ever think we'd have 50? Did you ever think we'd have a podcast?
Honestly, I thought it was a little harder to make a podcast and get listed in Spotify. I didn't realize you can pay somebody $20.
We're paying somebody $20
every month. You got to have a podcast host, just like a website.
Okay, so that's what Buzzsprout is.
So Buzzsprout is our host, and the host will so Spotify actually stores no music, at least as podcasts. It's the only thing I've ever. So Buzzsprout hosts the podcast, which is when I can make one change, it'll push it out to all the podcast players. So Apple Music, Google Podcast.
Do all hosts push it out?
Yeah, you're a host, but I have to make the connection physically, like not physically.
Yeah, because you had to. I saw you.
Yeah, so I had to submit our podcast from Buzzsprout to Apple Podcasts to Pandora. None of them were an automatic push. So you have to get the host and the player to shake hands and agree.
Okay.
And they need to be able to find me if I make a mistake or I have an explicit content and I don't list it that way. And then
does it hurt Buzzsprout if something comes back on our podcast as being inappropriate?
No, it only hurts us because that will be severed by the player. So Buzzsprout still makes money regardless of what my podcast does. It will still make the $20. Buzzsprout. If you guys want to Buzzsprout. My goodness. I can give if somebody signs up through our affiliate link, we both get $20 to Amazon or something.
If you guys wanted to start a pod, holla.
Hi. 55.
Why did we choose Buzzsprout? It was such a random name I've never heard of before in my life.
I did a couple Google searches and people were like, it's a nice one. Like it does some remastering of audio and it has nicer analytics or something.
Sweet.
Plus $20 to Amazon. He got $20. I got $20. The guy whose affiliate link I found online.
If you guys are getting ready to start a podcast, welcome to our podcast with the Sugar Cookie Marketing group on Facebook. We are actually called Sugar Cookie Marketing. We also have a group, but I realize that when I'm baking, I like to listen to podcasts. So the group is called Sugar Cookie Marketing. But it's really, honestly, if it goes to the oven, you can use the group to market it.
I don't think we have any chicken bakers in the group.
We got cooks.
Caterers and cooks, yeah. Because marketing's pretty universal. The same concept that you use to sell a roof, you can sell a car, that you can sell a cookie, that you can sell a chicken.
See?
I don't think people will buy feed.
No.
Feed is priceless.
So tell us what we're in for since you remastered your...
You just found that word because I just said it. And now you're using it.
It reminds me of Disney for some reason.
Because it's always digitally remastered. This is the Baking It Down podcast, which typically we go through some like marketing theory and some business of baking, talk about the group stuff. We do have a pretty neat course and we're having a spring bake.
Spring bake.
It's a pun on spring
break.
It's
like a spring break for bakers.
Spring bakers. And then we'll talk about our amazing sponsors. And I know you didn't go to the mailbag. I can see the fear in your eyes.
Darn it.
There's stuff there, man.
I was so busy.
Okay. You were not. Were you on TikTok? Because you just showed me a bunch of them.
You said they make you happy. So I send you. Someone
were you
has
too
to
busy
send
to
them.
go to the mail? Let's hope there's no brownies.
I actually was going to go. Here's the thing.
I do not want to hear your lame
Listen. Was going to go yesterday, get sushi.
But you got digitally remastered.
In the town center. Sushi place has an odd close time between 2:30 to 5. I said, well, I ain't going to make it there. So I went to Siam Bistro and got spring rolls. Ate them in the car right outside.
So in this podcast, we're going off script.
Oh,
and we are talking about a hot button topic.
Hot button topics.
We're gonna need you guys to really. I want you guys to really work hard. I want you to work hard. It's the issue is, and we're seeing it recur over and over again, and it's really upsetting. Is that Corey is a nice person, and I know I'm the favorite, but you can't keep telling her that. It's really affecting her mentally. So I'm going to just need you to keep the secret between me and you. You can still send me emails about it.
Okay. What we're really talking about today is we just want to go over the group rules.
Because Facebook only lets us have 50 characters to write a rule.
And the group rules, while they are great and we reference them often, they're like 2 sentences long and it doesn't cover as much as necessarily that we want to cover.
So we can cover it again.
They're not digitally remastered.
So we thought it would be nice to add our little
to
positive
digitally remaster them
on the group rules. So you want to dive in?
We'll dive in. If you have any questions, text us and we'll talk about them. next week.
Oh, yeah. I have actually. And, oh, yeah, we're going to go through a couple texts from the people texting.
All right. So the group rules they were actually made when there was only 2 people in the group.
Me and Corey. Sorry, like me better. Don't like me.
We have actually been in social media marketing, digital marketing for the better part of our entire adult lives. So we know what works and we know what doesn't work because we've been in groups for so long. So we knew what we wanted going into this group, and that's why we have made these rules before anyone joined. So no one can feel singled out.
As the group grows, the rules get a little
Did we think there would be any more than 2 people in the group?
Oh, really?
No.
I was going to make my mom join, so there would have been 3. But she'd have all the rules. We'd always get in trouble.
She'd make our rules for the group. So we have these group rules. Do they kind of morph as more people join? Yes. There's almost 33,000 people in the group as of this moment. But the group rules has like a negative term around it, and it's not negative.
You get like a butt tap. I don't know. We're allowed to say spanking. I got a lot of spanking.
Butt tap?
little
butt tap.
You know,
butt tap.
I don't know.
Bun tiny tap.
When I have no boundaries with a cat and I have no kids, I don't know if spanking's in or out, but I got a lot of them.
But group rules are a positive. So we made them in positive times, and we just reference them as they need to be referenced. During the negative time.
But
just kidding.
Rules create safety. They create a safe space. So I'm not dogging on any other groups, but when somebody maybe acts up, I'll send them to Anything Goes Cookies because the rule is anything goes. I'm not dogging on anything. I think they're a beautiful place.
Anything Goes Cookies means anything goes.
That's why they're great.
Yes.
At accepting.
We should change our group to not anything goes.
Nothing goes cookies.
Nothing goes. Nothing goes cookies.
So why we want to enforce the rules. And I think people get a little annoyed. And frankly, I agree.
I get annoyed enforcing them.
I'm annoying. I am annoying. I hate to see me lock a thread.
I honestly feel physically sad when I have to delete someone's post.
Because there's actually, from a marketing standpoint, us locking threads makes us have to work harder as marketers. The threads we lock are typically ones that trend, and then trending threads are dramatic or opinion based, or client bashing is so fun because clients are kind of difficult. So
when from Amazon, maybe it's on its way up to the top. What'd you get?
I don't think it was me.
Okay.
We can hope though. I think Gams is looking for a new humidifier or something. Anyways, what I was saying is that as I lock a thread that is trending, in a world where we preach finding trending stuff that enters feeds and works in the algorithm, we are actually proverbially shooting ourselves in the foot by locking these threads. Yeah. And it's a lose-lose. It's a lose-lose.
You lose because you hate us. We lose because we're not trending.
Yeah. But what it creates is a safe space. So a lot of the time that I find is that a majority of the group is pretty quiet. A majority of the group, it lurks. They're lurkers. And I love my lurker. I'm a lurker. Lurking is great because you get to read and absorb content. You don't necessarily add to the conversation, but you absorb.
Yeah.
And those people are pretty quiet. So when not an unsafe person, but a person with an
unsafe, what are you running on Facebook? When someone we just call them a louder personality.
Yeah, they kind of dominate a conversation, especially amongst lurkers. So when somebody's lurking and they see like, ooh, we're not allowed to talk about paper shred without getting somebody absolutely laying into us that we're an idiot forever, not knowing that shred can't come in contact with a baked cookie. Mm-hmm. They're like, well, I'm getting scared. I'm scared to post here. I don't want to get in trouble. I don't.
Now what we hear is posts get deleted, so people are scared to post because it might get deleted. So that's what this podcast is for
just
today.
Just kind of nailing it down.
We just want to nail it down in a positive way.
In a positive way.
Okay.
Why is it?
I'm going to read it out, and then you get to describe it. Number 1, if you don't have anything nice to say, if that's all it says. If you don't have anything nice to say.
I try to make it fun. Like, if you don't have anything nice to say, don't say anything else.
Okay.
What your mom always
then it says, be nice.
Because so people are like, I don't understand what that means. So like, okay, they're all in parentheses, like what we're trying to talk about.
Okay, so if you don't have anything nice to say,
don't say anything at all.
Be nice.
Right.
Okay, explain it.
It says, well, you're not reading it. Don't, it says, if you didn't read the whole thing, you little crazy person.
Just don't say anything. Oh, yeah, okay. The way that I'm looking at it is the bolded part is if you don't have anything nice to say, and the first line is don't say anything at all.
Be nice to others and remember that others are learning and giving their feedback and opinions. Be respectful or be gone. We only allow sweet cookies and people.
Okay, so I just want to explain that to you. When it comes to typing things, whether it be text, email, in a Facebook group, the way that you're saying it is not translated. So if someone says something like, hey, I'm really worried customer emails me and says shred is not food safe and I delivered my cookies on shred, what do? The way you type it is going to be construed in one way because the original poster, OP, has posted in fear, right?
So they're going to read your
Thing.
Response as condemning or fearful, or they're in a headspace that we can't dominate, we can't change, but we
Right.
got to understand.
So just
Tell
a
them
case
what
in
happened
point.
when
Yes.
Rick texts.
Who?
Rick.
Oh, no.
Corey's ex-husband will send a text, but Corey will read it. Like, can you believe he said that? Whatever it is.
Yeah.
And I'll be like, no, you actually have to read it to me with completely monotone voice because we can't infer emotion. We don't know what his emotion was. It's through a text, right? And so then I'll be like, I can't pick up Archer, so would you mind bringing Archer an extra hour? And then you're like, okay, well, what was he trying to deliver? What was the message?
Right.
Without the inference of emotion. But in a group like this, a lot of people are prone to infer emotion.
Yes. So adminning is not foolproof. We don't always make the right calls, but we've been adminning so long at this point that we can see when a comment is posted up under a thread like that, how it will be translated to the folks reading it. So you might have been like, I was going to say, you idiot, you can't put shred.
You idiot.
Yes.
You can't put shred, you crazy person.
So we would delete that comment because it just creates this air. A lot of people will like that comment because, hey,
They're saying she is an idiot. And
Yeah,
you
you
can know
are.
that you're an idiot.
yeah, but you could have been like, you silly goose, you can't do that. It's okay, well, I'll make mistakes. Okay, but she's like, you silly goose, you should be in business. So we delete comments like that because you might have inferred it one way, but we can only take it as we read it.
So what's an effective way to reply to that? Hey, I understand where the client is coming from. Shred can be handled this way. It's important to note, here's what I'd recommend. In my experience, this has worked best. There's no emotion. It's just a delivering of information.
Yes.
It's bipartisan.
One lady had a question about an invoice, and a comment under there says that you sound so unprofessional. Okay, that has to go. We are not the.
But here's the thing. Somebody's like, but that's my opinion.
It's an opinion.
And you can keep it to yourself because it's not nice.
It's not nice.
And people are like, well, this is freedom of speech. Facebook gives us so much ability to dissuade the ability to make an opinion-based response that Facebook doesn't want you to do it. We don't have post-approval turned on because we want people to have that freedom of information.
Yeah.
But you do not have the freedom to lambast somebody in a disrespectful way.
There's always a better way to say something. So instead of someone saying that's unprofessional, you wouldn't send an invoice. Be like, I've learned over the past few years in my business that creating an invoice is super easy. Here's 3 sites you can go to. You can create it in 2 seconds. It costs nothing to make an account on there.
Delivery of information.
You were able to give them the tip without the kind of rude comment.
Now, let's say somebody OP makes a post that is not sweet. Sometimes, most of the time, we can't be everywhere at once. But we ask the members to, hey, make your reply the counterpoint to their emotion, their negative emotion. Hey, seems like you're pretty frustrated. It's a frustrating situation. Have you considered approaching it this way?
Yeah.
And then that way, the group can help make it an unsafe place for unsafe people. I do want it to be an unsafe place for unsafe people. I want people who are mean or people who are bullies to feel that they are not welcome.
Yes.
So that's why that rule is so enforced. And niceties are subjective.
They are subjective. That's why we are human and we delete things as we see fit. As we've been doing this a lot longer than a lot of people. Adminning, so we can see when a comment section is going a little south.
Yeah. And we weigh into it's so crazy because Facebook really wants to keep groups safe.
Yeah.
It allows us to pull up your group member profile. So if you make a post, and I'm like, that's really abrasive. It could be taken many different ways. I can actually pull up your group profile and say, you know what? I think this was a one-off. I think they inferred it to be nice, and it came across incorrectly. I'm going to delete this one comment, but look at their post history. It's very positive,
Yeah, so as an admin, we can see your prior deleted comments, your declined post, prior deleted post, any suspensions that you've been on, and your time in the group.
Yeah, look at that. I guess it kind of feels like on the final call. Like if it's up in the air, I'm going to say like how many comments, how many posts have been deleted? Oh, we got over 5. Then you're just not a perfect fit for the rules of this group. moving along, don't have a bleeping potty mouth. Don't curse. We would like this group to be friendly for everyone, so save the cursing for when you drop that one cookie. That means the 4-letter words are out. Abbreviations get the boot too. Do we remove somebody for cursing? No.
We do not.
We
a
always
lot of
delete
times, I
comments.
know some people are fine with saying those words, and that's absolutely
I
fine.
curse like a sailor. Don't tell my mom.
She's going to listen to this. I don't curse
to
like a sailor. I think
That was Chloe that was talking. It wasn't me.
I am. No, thank you. Bad girl.
So, is cursing bad or good? That's your personal moral ethics. That's up to you. However, it's called the highest watermark. So if somebody has a rule that says like, hey, I don't curse at all, and someone says, well, I curse, but I don't have to curse, then we're going to rise to the highest watermark of the person who doesn't feel that it's ethically okay to curse, right?
Yes.
So we're going to just say, hey, everyone, you can curse in your daytime, just not in this group. You know?
Yeah.
So just keep it a safer place so we can have the highest watermark.
Yeah. And if you're wondering what falls under a curse word, think of like the highest, like, crap is on the line.
I know that some people don't like that we say that. And probably for the best, I guess. I can't. That one's a habitual one.
But
Holy
anything
crap.
below it is out. Anything that has asterisks in it is also out.
Because you're
I
inferring
can
to someone to read the word in their head.
Yeah. So we do have that on an alert. Heather had to type out all the curse words and put them on alert. So as soon as I see it, I used to go in and be like, hey, do you mind changing that one word? But then the person who posted it wouldn't come back to the thread for 5 days. So it's just easier for me to remove it. So if I just see it, I click remove. I never even look at the person who made the comment. I just see, oh, there's a curse word in there and just remove it.
Right. Will you get removed for using a curse word? No. If it was at somebody in a derogatory way, you'd fall under a different rule. Yes, you would get removed. But for general cursing, we just ask, keep it clean. And you can use, what do they call it, euphemisms when they're kind of close, but it's not it.
Fudge nuggets.
Yeah, that's of course that's what it says. And he's a giant 6'5" guy. So if he can say fudge, we can all say fudge, I guess. Okay, number 3 is a big rule that gets a lot of people upset. It's ain't nobody got time for that. No selling. We know that you've got good stuff, but save it for your customers. No selling at all in this group, or you will be put on post-approval. Keep doing it, and you'll get the boot. So this is the number 1 most violated rule in this group.
And it's because the line is so thin, smudgy. We can't necessarily... Fudgy. The thing is, at one point in time in the group, someone was being paid in products to come into the group and post as a consumer saying, I love this specific cutter maker. Then we found out because they told the truth. And now I don't trust anyone's post. So if you have a great experience with a cutter shop, that is awesome. Leave them a great review. Yeah, leave them a 5-star review on Etsy, 5-star review on their Facebook page. Post it to your Instagram stories.
That's a true thank you, man.
A true thank you. But what I want you to do in the group is if you had a great experience and you want to talk about the experience, you can do all that without naming that cutter shop. If it's just the experience you want us to all learn from then,
marketing, yeah. Hey, I had this, I asked for a refund. This company, I'm not saying the name, I don't want to violate the rules, did a great job of not only refunding me my product, but they included an extra gift card for a future purchase or something like that.
So someone will say, and this is a fantastic comment, but I saw someone post an Amazon link to something they got and it wasn't removed. Here's the thing. There's a lot of small business cutter shops, a lot of small business piping bag makers, a lot of small business label makers and things like that I know that if we let one of those slide, I'll have 5 people at my door saying, you let this post slide. Amazon, as long as it's not an affiliate link, I know no one's getting paid to post.
Who is benefiting? If the post is benefiting you, if I can infer that I can purchase from you, you've gone too far. That's why some people, some cutter shops or some stencil shops or some packaging shops will be like, I don't get how they're allowed to write this and I'm not. I said, listen, your target audience is our group. Mm-hmm. That's who you need to sell to. And because of such, you don't get to operate under the same rules that they do. This person's trying to tell me to go get stickers from Sticker Mule. They don't have an affiliate link. Okay, cool. Mm. You're telling me that you're going to make a cutter that's going to blow my mind. Mm-hmm. And you're telling it to the audience in the group, and it creates an unsafe place for the members to be able to relax. It's the same effect of walking into Walmart and somebody's trying to sell you something at the door. It's uneasy. You don't feel safe. I didn't sign up. I just wanted to go to Walmart, and now I'm being sold to. My wares are just being hawked toward me.
And that's why we have the opportunity to be sponsors. You can sponsor the emails. You can sponsor the podcast.
But you can't sponsor the group.
Right now, we don't have the group sponsor because that would be the Wild Wild West, and I just can't handle it. So, if you have a question about it, send us a message at Sugar Cookie Marketing's Facebook page, and we would be glad to review it with you and see if it passes. Here's the one thing. If someone asks, where did you get this cutter? One, that's not for sugar cookie marketing. That is for the baking group. So if you have a question about a cutter, the thing is, if it was like some like Ann Clark or something. So, I got it from Ann Clark, got it from Amazon on Ann Clark or whatever. What a lot of people think is fine is I'll make it for you. And then you'll come in, you'll say, I'll make it for you, and then tag your cutter shop.
Nope. Selling. Sold. Money is transact. Because from your comment, money can go to a transaction. You violated the selling rule. You can benefit. You're benefiting. And it's not to say that you can't benefit here, but this is not a place to sell. It's a place to learn how to sell.
So if you have an awesome cutter and someone tags your shop, awesome. Sweet. Someone tagged your shop who bought from you, that's fine. But
on their personal page, not in the group.
Well, like a lot of times in the baking group, someone will be like, where did I get this? Where did anyone find this cutter? And they'll be like, I found it at JH Cookie Co. Okay, well, it's not Mrs. JH. So
I'm going to come down. It gets a little subjective there. And unfortunately for people, we're going to err on the side of caution. If it smells, looks, and tastes like a sales post, it's going to get deleted. Even if you're like, well, that wasn't my intention, then write us about it.
Write us about it. Heather is a pushover. Just kidding. She'll let you back in. No, but if you have a question, that's a very hard one. We get a lot of grief from it. It gives me such anxiety to delete posts like that, but I always want to be fair to everybody. So there's a lot of cutter shops and small business owners who don't post about their wares on there, and I want to be fair to them.
Yeah, and we got to respect the sponsors who are paying to have their stuff posted. Mm-hmm. And they have their own set of rules as well, so it's not that
they do. In their groups, it says no selling.
Yeah. So that one is that. Now, here's the thing: if you got to look at my role here as the rule enforcer. My job is to make myself work less. If you are taxing the moderation team by constantly pushing the rules, and you're not paying for it, you're taking money out of my pocket because you're making everybody work harder. And if one of those mod members quits, I have to do that.
I'm quitting.
Then I'm going to ban everybody. So I'll say, if they say, hey, this person's giving me a hard time, they keep dancing around this rule, I'm going to err on the side that you got to go. Because you're causing too much rule violations. Even if you're getting real close and flirting around with it, I'm going to remove you from the group completely because there's a better group for you and it's not this one.
Yeah. Yes. Okay. That one, hopefully it didn't hurt your feelings.
That one hurts a lot of feelings. So.
It does hurt. So just message us because we try to be understanding. The next is we vote for cookies. No politics, no controversy. We don't care about voting for anything else, at least not in the group about marketing. So if you make a controversial or political post, we'll probably vote it out. Keep it clean, not controversial. We have a zero tolerance policy for this. If you make anything political where I can look at it and I'm like, I know who they voted for, you will be out. I cannot handle the stress that those posts create. The 2024 elections are coming up.
We survived the 2020 election. That was the time.
You guys did fantastic with that. But if I see anything that's remotely politically related, you're automatically going to be out. And I usually, Heather makes it sound like she's the person who's the hard ban hammer.
Most of the time.
It's me. And I don't go back on the decision I make. Heather's usually the one that's.
So people would say, but I just wanted opinions on a set. It was a donkey, it was an elephant, whatever. I just needed someone's
post
help.
To your Instagram stories and use that little poll feature.
There is no wiggle room because people cannot handle politics without getting emotional. Mm-hmm. And in a group on cookies, there's no room for politics. We actually have presidential candidates on Keyword Alert. We have political parties on Keyword Alert.
Animals, specific animals on Keyword Alert.
Yeah, there's a zero tolerance policy, and I think that one is actually a hard removal most of the time.
Yeah, I don't have any issues with that because it creates a lot of drama, a lot of heated. People are very passionate about it, but you're talking to two people who are very not passionate.
What have you said? So this was an issue. I didn't tell anybody to vote in a particular. I just said they should vote their opinions. You're inciting a political discussion. And if you get that many reactions on your comment, I hope you know that you've made a mistake.
Unfortunately, though, if you do make if you see a comment like that and you're like, well, I didn't comment it, but I liked it. You
have supported a political post in a group on no politics. And if you're going to hide behind a reaction emoji and support that type of content without reporting it, you are part of the problem.
Since this sounds like a very negative podcast. Well, okay, no. the rules are there because we know it can go south. This is a happy corner of the internet. We're talking marketing and
happy.
sales.
Okay, we were supposed to keep it
Jeez
happy.
Louise, woman.
You said.
No, you're like,
it's me that removes them.
I'm just saying, don't hope to God it's not going to suit your comments.
So I'm not enforcing a lot of the rules. People.
All right, baking
Now,
with
this one is confusing.
marketing
I'll say that.
only. Let me read it. Baking with marketing only in this group. That's a confusing sentence. Looks like you have a baking related question there. While Sugar Cookie Marketing Group is about, well, marketing, our sister group is for baking. Join Baking with Sugar Cookie Marketing and ask away.
That's confusing. So what happened was a lot of people had some baking questions and they would post them in the marketing group and then their posts get deleted. And they said, it's pretty frustrating. I like the content here and I like the advice of these great people.
Yes. And they were like, we love how this group is run.
They like the rules. They said, we like the rules. We like the safe place. I like to be able to ask without feeling like I'm being sold to or...
Yeah.
So
we created a Baking with Sugar Cookie Marketing so you can ask all the baking questions, which I honestly love because I left all of the other groups because there was political stuff. So I'm in these two groups, and the baking group has about 9,000 people in it right now. And they're fantastic. It's like any troubleshooting questions you have. My recipe is spreading. What do I use for meringue powder? Hey, my colors are bleeding. What do I do? Icing's hanging off the side here. People are asking like buttercream. Hey, my buttercream separated. What do?
So
design inspiration.
I want to say, if you violate this rule, you don't get in trouble. You just get your thread locked and we direct you over to the other group. It's because it is a little bit of just of a traffic management rule.
But if you helped me a little bit, I could spend more time answering your marketing questions and stuff like that instead of having to like refer people. So if it's pricing, if it's photography, if it's staging, if it's websites, if it's customer relations, it belongs in Sugar Cookie Marketing. Ask it all day or day. If it is color bleed, if it is recipe, meringue powder, cutters, where design inspiration, it belongs in the baking group. If you can help differentiate those two for me, you give me less work to do, which is awesome.
Also, you guys can report posts, which helps our job get a lot easier. Question for you.
It helps
packaging go?
Packaging goes in both. We have decided packaging lives in both. Whatever you click on, if someone asked on the baking group, would you mind putting a cookie emoji there so they could see that with that?
I'm not going to because it affects SEO.
Sorry, guys, you're out. Marketing trumps emojis. So
because if somebody puts an emoji at the beginning of a group, it doesn't show up for the first word anymore. It shows up for that emoji.
Sorry, guys. Emojis are out. I tried. Here's the thing. If you post a marketing question in the baking group, I'll have to remove it. But I love
that idea of the emoji. The person, that was a great idea.
Yeah. They said when you added like the foot in the house and the spider, it was very easy for them to find the group that they needed to go to because they're like,
emoji at the end.
No, ain't nobody reading Baking with Sugar Cookie Marketing till the end.
emoji.
So if you guys can help us there, you have two groups to get literally every question answered. And it really helps us when you just take the time to look at what group you're in. So bless be. I love reading questions.
Okay, let me move. Number 6, not safe for work, cover up. Adult cookies. We have younger eyes in the group, so don't post adult-themed cookies without a cover and a warning. Posted without a cover, we got you covered with a quick delete. Some of those cookies are extremely atomically correct. And if they're not blurred, it could be seen as... And here's the thing. I don't know that we'll get... I don't think I've ever seen content removed from the group by Facebook for pornographic content. But we do have younger eyes in the group.
Like, it's not... You're just listening. Don't use that word.
What am I supposed to say?
Just say adult-themed cookies.
Adult-themed cookies. Sorry to the younger ears on the podcast. So anyways, if you want to post adult-themed cookies, but Cookies After Dark is another Facebook group, which is absolutely intended.
That's what they're...
You're not going to be able to beat that content. If that's a content you want to post, the information you'll get from that group is going to trump anything. We can...
yeah. I'm telling you.
So yeah, I'd say, honestly, I'd probably drop out the photo and then ask your question.
You don't necessarily need a photo. Like someone asked in the Cookie College today, hey, I have adult-themed cookies I want to post to my page. How do I post it that's not offensive to people? Okay. She didn't need a photo. Someone actually shared your graphic with her.
Oh, sweet. That's great. Yeah. So there is a graphic, but I'd honestly say that we're not the best group for that. I'll take an L on that one and say that there's better groups for getting that kind of feedback. if it's
Amen.
atomically correct.
All right. The next is a pretty big one that we've run into a lot of issues with and get a lot of flack for. If they didn't ask, no unsolicited advice. Unsolicited advice is just that, not asked for and not wanted. If OP didn't ask for opinions, don't give it. First offense, your comment may be removed. Second, you might be too. Here's the thing. You have to make a business decision if you want to make character cookies. They are against the law, okay?
Yeah.
It is up to you to make the best decision for your business in regards to how you want to run it. I do not make character cookies. Not because I don't want to, but because I'm terrible at eyes. I'm not good at it. They take a long time. If someone posts up a character cookie, a character set, and has a marketing related question, that is not the time to come and say, you are going to end up in prison and they're going to take your children away from you.
Really? Because everyone seems to think that's not to do that.
That is up for them to decide. And if they're asking, hey, should I make these character cookies? Should I post these character cookies? Hey, you can come and tell them, hey, I actually got a letter from Disney and they were super upset. They said they were going to charge me $2,500 fine. Here's my experience. If they're like, hey, a customer says I spelled Moana wrong, what do? It's not the time to say you're going to prison. So unsolicited advice is not what we want. So character cookies is an easy one to say, but say if someone took a picture of their cookies on shred and they're just asking a packaging, they're asking a delivery question and they're like, pick for tax, which pick for tax means in the algorithms, a post with a picture does better than just post with text. But a pick with tax is not your time to come and be like, did you put those cookies directly on shred and sell them to the customer? It's not the time. Someone did that to me and I almost quit. So if they're asking, how can I...
Did you put your cookies on shred?
Yeah. And someone's like, how... I would not even accept that.
Yeah, it's no longer a safe space. If you can't... it's so funny. I belong in a snake group. I have questions about these snakes. They don't have emotion, so I don't know if they're happy or not.
True.
But when I ask a question, I'm so scared to post a pic of their habitat because somebody's going to hate something about it. Mm-hmm. But I just need to know like some little fact about the snake. I'm scared.
Yeah.
Right. So I end up not asking at all because I'm so worried somebody's going to attack me for something I didn't ask about. Well, you idiot, this is wrong. Well, I'm so sorry. I'm just asking what kind of water they want.
So if I read a post and then I read a comment and I, in that post, cannot find where your comment is referring to the question at hand, I will just automatically delete it. If they didn't ask, no unsolicited advice. Another one is a lot of time with the customer relations post, a lot of GIFs go flying and a lot of like yikes and like GIFs. GIFs.
Beef fighter.
Oh my god, GIF about you. Those comments aren't adding necessarily value. So those will be deleted as well. Make sure that you read the person's post in answer to the question at hand. Can I provide value? I'm going to scroll. If I cannot, can I provide value? Yes, I have an educated answer that is to answering the question that they need. I'll post a comment.
You know, it's interesting. What the repercussion of this one is your comment will get deleted, but then there's a new feature that Facebook's rolled out to admin teams that is called suspension. Mm-hmm. Suspension means you can still access all the content in the group. You can just not engage with it.
It's honestly, if you get suspended, it's gracious because normally we'd remove you.
And I like to say that suspension is like a little like, hey, you're a little off here. It probably is just a one-off time, but maybe cool off a little bit. So here's a couple days to up to 28 to take your time.
Choose 20. I choose 12.
So yeah, we only have a set duration that you can choose from, but it's saying like, hey, you seem like maybe you're in just a little bad headspace because we're getting a lot of comments from you that are violating some rules. Yeah. I don't think you intended it. So let me help you a little bit, just give you a little bit of space to kind of figure it out.
The group loves to have the ability to comment, and I don't like necessarily turning off the comments. So if we can work together, that's fine. So I'll come to a post that I know is probably going to trend because it's opinion based and there'll be a lot of opinions that will go back and forth. And I'll say, hey, this is your one warning. If you comment something off topic, if you customer bash, if you do this, your comment will be removed, and then I'll put you on suspension because the comments are coming too fast for me to handle. But I want you guys to have the ability to help this person in need and be able to comment without shutting off the comments. So suspension has been a great way to let you guys have the ability to comment and also keep the integrity of the group. Now, why a post has 212 comments? and no one's liking the comment they agree with. It's beyond me. Whatever.
That's a great point. Is if you ever use Reddit, which is a website that's very old, it's called the front page of the internet. It has a voting system. Mm-hmm. You saw Facebook try to test the voting system. They've since
liked them for a minute.
I know. So they treat emojis as votes in Facebook, right? So the way it works is this person wrote the comment that I was going to write as well. Instead of just duplicating their information, I'm going to just heart react to their information that just says I'm supporting the content that you provided.
What it does, it makes the comment section very educational. It's not the same comment 30 times. It's one comment with 30 reactions and then maybe a different perspective underneath it with 28 reactions. So you can say, oh, these two are the best comments in here. And I'm going to read both of these and then I'm going to make an educated decision from the comments that most people would agree with.
Mm-hmm. Facebook understands that controversial content trends in groups. Mm-hmm. And we don't have it turned on yet, but what it's saying is the fact that Facebook gives us this ability to slow comments on trending posts means that Facebook realizes that content, something is wrong with it. Mm-hmm. Something's wrong with it in terms that it's attracting a lot of engagement when it probably shouldn't be. And it must be probably controversial, opinion-based, or it's escalating.
Yeah.
So Facebook is kind of like helping us. So when Facebook kind of reaffirms like, hey, you guys now have suspension privileges, that's kind of saying Facebook says like, hey, pass these out before you do the boot.
Yeah. So because we have almost 33,000 people in it, we have the alert turned on that when a post gets 100 comments, which can happen in less than 10 minutes, or if it gets 100 reactions, which can happen in less than a minute, that we are alerted to it. That's when I come in. Sometimes I'll turn off the comment section just so I can assess the situation, see where we're at, make sure everything's on the good, and then I'll open it back up. If it's not and people cannot handle the comment section for whatever reason, the comments will remain closed. At the end, I mean, I've been trying, I don't know if you have, I'll usually make a comment as to why it has been turned off, whether it be repetitive comments that are the same thing. OP has already made a decision, and people are still commenting, not realizing that they have made a decision already.
OP never came back to give clarifying details.
OP just posted and ghosted, and then we're still like hanging on.
Or, frankly, honestly, because a lot of the mods are asleep and one person can't do all the work.
Yes.
So unfortunately, you got to be like, hey, I'm too busy to monitor what's going on here. I just know that it's crazy. I'm going to lock it. I'll see if I can unlock it later. But for now, it's...
We'll lock a comment thread if it's repetitive customer bashing in it. And people aren't catching the drift that's not what the group is about. We'll lock the comment thread and direct people to the baking group if it's a baking, vice versa.
And you know what I've seen starting to happen? I really like it. Is that OP stands for original poster, the person who made the post. Mm-hmm. They're starting to protect their own thread, and they're reporting comments on their thread that are violating the rules. And I've seen as much as OP saying like, "Hey, listen, you're violating a rule, and it's going to get my thread locked. Would you mind deleting your comment and keeping it on topic?"
That's fantastic. And when I see that. That is honestly awesome for me. Then they report that comment, and I can come in right there and remove that comment versus having to read through everything.
If you have a bunch of suspensions on your account, you're running out of time.
Yes. In a positive way.
Hello. You get a lot more free time on your hands here real soon. Client bashing. Number 8. Ban the bashing. No client or competitor bashing. Hey, it's real in the field and it's hard out there, but there's no need to bash clients and competitors. Ask about how to best communicate. Let's not tear each other down. Peace, love, and happiness.
Without clients, we would not be in business. Is every client cookie cutter client? Absolutely not. You're always going to have someone.
I know you're saying like a cookie cutter client, but you're saying it in a cookie group.
Oh, okay. Is everyone a copy and paste client? No. Me and Heather have been in business for ourselves for years upon years. Have we ever had a client who's like another client? No, they always bring a different variable to the table, which is great because people are different. We all have different personalities. We see things differently. I'll have a customer email me and they'll be like, yeah, do whatever you want. Then I'll have another customer email me and they're like, I want rose gold, navy blue, mauve. They'll have so many specific details. Neither one is wrong. They're just different people with different personalities who purchase things differently.
I'm going to say, are all clients right? No.
No.
And we get it. And we get it's frustrating. And it's so hard. But in a group of 33,000 people, we can't allow venting threads about how bad clients are because it gets so negative. Oh, Kat, Beeb's done with us. She said, I want to vent. You're not letting me vent. I'm out. Bye.
Feels like a heat vent in here.
Well, she produces a lot of body heat. Yeah, so we don't allow vent threads. It's actually a keyword alert saying I just need to vent. It will ping the mod team and they'll just delete the post because I would love to just lay into a couple clients that had just messed me up.
Absolutely. But there's a better way to come about it. Instead of saying, I want to vent, you can say, hey, I have this situation. How can I best change it to benefit the customer and my business at the same time? Customer bashing, if someone's talking about a customer relation issue and you say they're an idiot, your cookies are amazing, that is going to be deleted.
You didn't add any value.
You didn't add value. Are their cookies probably amazing? Absolutely.
Does it answer their question?
No. Is it a customer name? Probably not. Who knows? It's not. We only have one half of the story.
There's something I love to sell. That's exactly what it is. We can't play judge, jury, and executioner in a group with only one side of the story. And I'm not saying that your client's right and you're wrong, but I'm saying the client's not there to defend their side.
Yeah.
And we are biased towards. I'm biased towards my perspective on everything. So I have to say, Heather, I have a friend named Mike. And I'll tell him.
Friends?
One. That was it. He hasn't called me in a while. I'd be like, Mikey, you'll never guess what Corey did. She's so annoying. And he'd be like, yeah, that's crazy. It's almost like maybe you didn't let her have anything to say.
Thanks, Mikey.
Yeah, but you always be the counter opinion, even because he knows, like, Corey's not there to defend herself. He knows she is annoying. He doesn't say that.
Yeah, because I give him free cookies to his kids.
So it's just saying, like, hey, I agree. Your client's probably out of line, but they're not here to defend themselves. So someone had a great perspective. Okay. If your client were in this group, would you have written that way?
We've actually had clients in the group.
Yeah.
They sneak on in there. I don't know. If you answer the questions, how would I know?
If somebody bought cookies, they probably have an inclination. A lot of your clients show up to class. They end up quitting.
They're in the group.
Yeah,
they're in the group.
For you to say, what if the person was standing right there? Would you reword it? Probably. Yeah. You should write it that way then.
Yes. So we are hardcore on the customer bashing deletion because those posts can go southward. A lot of those comments don't have value and it makes the comment section so long. So you have to scroll a lot to find a valuable comment.
When Corey and Amy and Courtney and sometimes me when I wake up have a little time, I go and clean up the comment section because the thread itself, if OP asks the right question and people are inferring the wrong thing when they come, I can clean it up and allow the comment section to still be very valuable. But when it gets out of hand and it's too fast.
Yeah. We're at any given time, there's only one person adminning. It's not Heather. It's not. Because Amy has 5 kids. Courtney has a baby and another child. And I have no life, so I'm really in there a lot. A lot of times we don't want the person to feel overwhelmed because they're by themselves. So we have this agreement. Just if it's going crazy, just lock it or delete it.
I think right now the mod team is strong enough that is, if we enforce these rules, I don't want to add a million mods and then be like, now the rules are flexible. No, the rules will always stay so that the mod team can be tight and small and I don't have to worry about too many dynamics.
Yeah.
So I know if somebody feels the need to volunteer, don't worry about it. Right now we're good. I'm sure that some of you amazing people would be helpful. If we ever need to expand that. This group at 30,000, this group at 60,000 would be a different beast.
Absolutely. I don't think we'll get that big. But I didn't think we'd get to 32. So
if we stuck at 33, I'd be pretty happy.
I like new people doing it.
I love new people.
I love when people are like, I'm just looking to learn. I don't know what I'm doing.
I love new people, but I'm not, it's a lagging KPI to key performance indicator to focus on just the numerical value of the group.
Sure.
The value of the group is in the constant posting.
Can I say thank you to the group? Sometimes there'll be a post that goes up and there'll be some customer bashing in there before an admin can get there. But my group, my people who've been in the group for a while will come in there and be like, hey, just want to let you know, can you guys keep it on target because this post will be deleted? Or they'll say, hey, OP, can you add some marketing question in there just to keep it on target for the group? I love that. Thank you this is your group. So keep it.
And you defended it.
Yeah, keep
and
it.
You're getting a great group.
Yeah, it's your group. It does wonders for you to help educate those folks. And if you do it in a kind of way, usually everyone's so like, oh my goodness, I didn't know. Thank you so much. That is fantastic. Please continue to do that as long as you do it.
And report comments. That really, really does help keep this place clean.
When you report comments, I can sneak in there and I can delete them. It'll be silent. No one knows. No one ever knows it was you. No one ever knows it was me.
But it just goes to a nothingness.
Yeah. So thank you on that. It says, help us help you add some marketing value. If we tagged this rule, it's probably a warning shot because your post either didn't ask a marketing question or it doesn't add marketing value. Mind updating your post with more info? So if someone just posts this is the set I did, I'm in love. I'm in love with it too, man. but post that to Instagram and get you some likes and engagement so you
Do
can
that
reach more
marketing.
people.
That's what marketing is, man.
Yeah. So if you want to post something in the group, we ask you to either have a marketing question in there or a marketing tip. We love tips. If you've been there and done that, post a marketing tip. So we had someone who nailed it at a farmer's market, and she's like, "Here's the 5 things I did."
was a great post.
It was fantastic, and
And
those
we were
are the
able to
posts.
encourage her.
Yeah.
And
High
say, like,
fiver.
great
You look
job.
fantastic. We want this group to always add value. So a lot of times in other cookie groups, people will just be like unloading my sets for the week and just post pictures of the sets they've done. I love that, but that doesn't add any value. It does add inspiration, but that's where I usually go to Instagram. In the baking group on Fridays, Amy posts a share your fave bake of the week. So if you want like to be able to show off, that is the post for it. I love posting in there because I get the sweet, sweet nectar of the pat on the back from fellow cookiers because you guys know how hard it is. But then if I just want to post something, I'm going to actually use that and post it to Instagram so I can get more reach, more marketing, more likes there where it really benefits me.
I want to say nobody gets booted for number 9. No suspensions are handed out for number 9. Number 9 is just, hey, your thread was deleted or locked, so feel free to repost it, but just add a little bit more, a little something learning.
Sometimes I'll be super late to a post, like it goes up in the middle of the night and I get it 6 hours later and it already has a ton of comments. Sometimes I'll try to say, hey, do you mind adding something like a tip or a trick, especially if it's in the baking group, that will help someone achieve this down the road too. If I can, if OP never comes back to address it, I'll just remove it. But you can always repost it with a little tip or trick or a question, and we will appreciate seeing your beautiful work that way.
I love it. I love it. Number 10, no drama, mama. No drama. No drama, please. I said it 3 different times. Keep it nice. If you create drama, we will help you with a dramatic exodus from the group. But my post wasn't dramatic, and it probably wasn't, but the comment section was not your fault. So we've been doing this for over 2 years.
Yeah.
We've been doing this for a while in various facets. I've seen your posts, and I love your posts, and I love your experience there. But the general theme of your post, I know exactly where it's going to go.
Not because of anything you've done, but because we've seen it
other
100
people-
times before you.
And I know, here's the thing. Cookie eaters are biased for other cookie eaters. And
Yeah.
I love that support, and I love that. But when I see, ooh, this isn't going to go well. This is going to be a client bashing post, even though OP did everything right. Checked all the boxes. Unfortunately, I got to take it out because... Oh, the cat.
Where is it?
He okay, Phoebe, a little side note. Phoebe has a problem with understanding what the litter box is, and he has decided that
Are you kidding me?
he's getting the fake pebbles from the wall to cover up a little duker.
I'm going to go look real quick.
I know that's what it is, but brace yourself for the smell. So we think that Phoebe is such a smart cat in that he's decided the whole room is a litter box. He does not know what you're saying. He thinks that's a compliment. So anyways, Phoebe kind of grabs at the wall to pretend there's fake rocks there.
Phoebe is also 45 years old.
The No Drama Mama post is sometimes it could be about you, and sometimes people are like, but I just don't get how was it drawn. It wasn't. It's not you. In fact, the comments even hadn't gotten there yet. But I've seen it about 55 other times, and it's going to head in that direction. So here's the thing. Facebook only lets us ever have 10 rules. There's one rule that I had to remove to add another rule. You cannot ask why your post was deleted back in the groups.
Oh, you deleted that one.
Amy said she needed to help you add some marketing value.
Oh, okay.
'Cause she has to cite the rules.
Okay, I never cite the rules.
I don't cite the rules either. If we don't cite the rules, you actually don't get a notification about it. If we do cite the rules, you do get a notification about it. Sometimes I cryptically, because I can only write 100-character reply. So I'll be like, please message page. Can't explain. So sorry. And somebody like, hello? I said, I'm sorry. That seemed like a ransom note.
Okay, go into that one.
So if your post is deleted, I would love for you to just trust the mod team that it isn't about you. If you still have access to the group, you're not suspended. It wasn't you.
Yeah.
Sometimes a lot for the drama mama one. If we see that OP had no intention of causing drama, I'll just delete it. Not because you didn't do anything wrong. It's just the comment section. Sometimes people can't handle it. And there's, I'll say that a lot of people belong to over 50 cookie groups. And it's kind of hard to see which group that you're in.
I can see how many groups people are in when they request to join.
Yeah.
Someone's in 1,280.
So I imagine that they're not saying, okay, I'm in Sugar Cookie Marketing Group. Let me reference the rules. They're just seeing it in their feed. They're replying to a thread. And as such, that's why I have a sympathy for these rules. I hope that you guys understand I'm only enforcing them because we're in this group exclusively. And I understand that you're in about 50 groups. And you can't always reference the rules, even though it's right there, a button while you're typing that you can click and see the rules.
Yeah.
But, yeah, so sometimes the drama mama, we have to just kind of take it out. So what happens is people get their post deleted and say, I don't get why my post is deleted.
Yes.
I'm going to guarantee you that post is going to get deleted.
It will. And I will feel so bad doing it.
Right. So if you say, hey, I don't know that my post should have been deleted, or some people think that we're angry. Nobody's angry. Nobody is angry.
Because this is business and I'm able to take off my emotional hat and just put on my business hat. And I expect you guys to do the same.
Yeah.
It's just business.
Yeah, nobody's mad at you. Nobody's saying, like, I've been waiting this whole day to delete their post. It's just like, oh, man, that one's kind of, and some of these rules are subjective. I think this could go wrong. And as a moderator, I've got to kind of protect the whole group. So I'm just going to delete it. If you guys have any questions, you guys can actually appeal your deleted post or offer an explanation.
You can no longer message Corny Miracle because
so unfortunately, I turned off my message capability a long time ago. So if you're writing me a Facebook message, I'm never reading it. You can't even send it most of the time. Somehow, so what happened was people were upset. Emotions were high in the couple seconds after your post is deleted, and they're saying, "Corey, I don't think I should have been deleted." Well, that's not Corey's job. She's not outside of work. She's not a moderator. She is a human being, and her messages are meant for friends and family.
Yeah, it was giving me so much anxiety.
So I said, Corey, hey, there's this button that turns off the messaging capabilities on your Facebook page. And what it does is it forces everyone to go to the correct place. Message the page. Somebody will get back to you when they have a minute. It wasn't done to hurt you. It wasn't done to harm you. It wasn't done with malintent. It was done for the betterment of the group, and we'd hope that you would trust the mod team, who is also capable of mistakes. And is human. And sometimes makes the wrong call. Sometimes I just lock something because it's getting a lot of reports and I'm not sure why.
Sometimes we are at dinner together and we would like to eat.
Yeah, so it's never about you guys. I really want you to learn. We want this to be a fun learning environment for everybody. And to do that,
let me guarantee you, if you message us and ask about why a post was deleted, you will be met with the most level-headed and educated response and willingness to hear your side of the story that you've ever experienced, because we are not angry when we delete these posts. If you have a question, email us, message us on the page, because that's what it's there for. We would love to hear your side. We would love to explain where we're coming from. The admin team is made up of different personalities. I'm more relaxed. Some people are more strict. Sometimes I'll pass a post and I'm like, that's fine by me. And then I'll see that it was deleted later on. That's okay. I have to appreciate the mod team and I have to keep them happy. They're doing a lot of work. For every problem.
Betty, you believe I am.
Okay, except for Heather. With every post that's deleted, you guys are like, you guys don't see it. It's like you know what is the most unappreciated chore of the house? I was thinking I had to dust my house. No one walks into your house and is like, wow, this is not dusty at all. No, they say your house is, they'll do this. Oh, a little dusty.
Who are you having over that's doing
Nobody over. But when I was dusting, I said, no one would come over and be like, your house is not dusty at all. When you come into the group and you're like, wow, this group is awesome. Behind the scenes, it can get a little dirty. We can get a lot of messages that aren't so kind. But we just appreciate it if you give us the opportunity to explain it, and then you can curse Heather out. That would mean a lot to me.
My ability to turn off my notifications. Yeah, there'll be a bit of reasoning. If you're being unreasonable, we'll kind of have to say, agree to disagree on this one. I appreciate it. But I had a member who was removed for multiple offenses. I tried to explain to him. He said, I just didn't understand what I was violating. I do understand now. And I said, well, I appreciate it. The first time I told you if you broke the rules again, I couldn't undo it. Yeah. So I hope we're still friends. And here's a couple groups I recommend.
Yeah.
It's just a friendly space. This is just business. You guys are in your business. And I'd encourage everyone to see if they can remove as much of emotion as they can out of their business, because emotion is subjective.
And Heather got this Fitbit tracker.
Oh my goodness, guys.
And if it tells you she's stressed.
It is my Twinterest.
Okay, I'll save it. I'll save it for your time.
Okay. I'm going to just stare at my heart rate for the duration of this. So that is the rules, and I hope it makes sense. These rules can change and tweak, and we'll try to keep you guys
abreast of the situation.
No. And you said it with a weird rolled R. So we'll try to keep you guys updated and stuff. I'd love to encourage you just to see this as like, oh, it's just the twins doing the
that
twins.
started off very negative from you, and I was able to bring it out.
We were like, we're deleting everybody.
We are nothing without you guys. And this is not our group. This is all of our groups. So all 32,900 of you, this is all of our groups. And if we can make it the best spot on the internet, which to me, honestly, it is.
We're biased.
We're biased,
We're
but it's
emotional.
also what it is. That's what it will continue to do. It'll help benefit people who are just new to the industry, someone who's just happening upon this marketing know-how. We are blessed to have so many people willing to give up themselves and give up the information that they have learned in their time. And we appreciate each and every one of you. And we appreciate the understanding that you give us as an admin team. We are not infallible. Is that a good word?
I'm not
Is
sure.
that a real word?
Summer said it, infallible. And I'm not sure if she said it correctly or incorrect.
Infallible? Infallible?
I'm not sure. You also said controversial, and then you said controversial. So I
Controversial.
guess controversial. Jeff. I accidentally reordered the rules, and I know Amy's going to kill me.
What did you do?
I was just putting, we don't need the politics one so close. I'll move it back up in 2024.
No, I need those in the right order. Unless you're doing your job in adminning, which you're not.
They came from. I moved baking.
Whoa.
I messed it up. I can't undo it. Anyways.
Anywho.
That is the group rules. The baking group is very similar in rules except for the no marketing. It has to be, that one has a no marketing rule.
Someone that I've been using, blah, on Etsy. She has been amazing.
Okay, great. That isn't.
Oh, your Disney suite. Holy upgrade. What are you posting, little lady?
What's happening?
I can't tell if this is a. You continue. Let me go look more.
So that is the group rules, and the group rules are meant to keep this as a safe space. It's not meant to oppress anybody or keep anybody down. If we remove somebody, I've undone removals because somebody's like, you know what? I see totally where you're coming from. I made a mistake. Would you mind if I? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. But you're gonna have that little mark on your record that you did get removed. So I had to ask you to go out of your way to really follow the group rules and get a good understanding of it. Mm-hmm. Does that make sense to everyone? Are we all a big happy family? Mm-hmm. Did you figure out it was a body count?
It wasn't. I just read it wrong. It on desktop looks like it's a post in of itself, but on my phone I could tell it's very
confusing. Facebook's also super glitchy. Also, there's one caveat I wanted to tell everyone about. Facebook removes its stuff too.
Yes.
And we don't have a lot of power over it. And it just almost, it's like a report. Hey, this happened and there's nothing you can do about it. Enjoy this report.
Yeah.
And people be like, why was that deleted?
Yeah. My favorite Cajun thought I deleted her post and it wasn't me. It was Facebook deleted it.
Sometimes we can appeal for you guys, but very rarely.
Today we could not. Someone's post was removed.
They won't even show us what the offense was. And I think it almost bans that person's account too.
It puts you guys on automatic post approval that I cannot take off for 30 days.
So I think, and then sometimes I think those people are actually, you were banned from Facebook, and it's just you were banned from features.
Absolutely.
So there's some of that, and that happens. There's nothing we can do. I always try to appeal.
If we can.
Most of it, it's just somebody like Corey to ask somebody how they were.
Hey.
Oh. So that is the group rules. Okay, Corey, moving along here. Well, that's going to be our marketing and baking minutes because everyone was really confused, and I agree that we are confusing people. Confusing people.
Did we do that good enough? Was that a good explanation?
I don't know. Yeah.
Was it?
I feel like they got more of a reason behind it, more of a logic explanation behind it.
Okay.
If you guys didn't like that one, let us know. Okay, in the course recap, we have the Cookie College, which I'm so excited. We're having a spring bake in the Cookie College, which how do you win? You just got to be in. So on April 21st.
came up with that, and she's
I love a pun, I love a rhyme. On April 21st, we're just going to have some fun little giveaways. So if you're teetering on Cookie College membership.
Also, we are the final days of
March 3 free.
March 3 free. So today, Wednesday, and Thursday are the final 3 days that you can upgrade your college membership or sign up for the college membership and get 3 months free if you sign up for the yearly.
Yeah, so you only pay for 9 months, but you get 12 months. Here's the thing. If someone's like, well, I don't even know if I want this at all.
Yes.
The majority of the people who've cashed in on March 3 free are current monthly members who really like the content, really like the support, really like the classes, and wanted to get more of it. So quite a few of you have cashed in on that. If you go to purchase a yearly membership, you're going to see 2 months free right off the bat. And then that third month will pop in there in about 5 to 7 business days.
Pop in there.
And it comes in as a refund because Podia, the place where we host the courses, doesn't like how I handle their billing.
Wow.
Sorry about
We're hosting a lot of things.
But in the course recap, we're adding this week the basics to Facebook pages. And I know some of you guys are like, well, I don't need that one. But some people do. And if you were like, hey, I just need to get off on the right foot with a Facebook page, Facebook's actually added a ton of new features, even from last year.
They're always changing as well.
So just Facebook page setup and optimization, making sure it's completely filled out, that our category and our handle is set correctly, that our cover photo, I can show you how to find graphics.
Your CTA button, everything like that.
Call to action.
Tabs, templates, banned words.
Yeah, so in group stuff, actually got a live submission for May.
For
A lawyer talking about cookie contracts. And she said, Heather, I just see people in the group and they ask about, and she said, I just know I can help them.
Oh my goodness.
She said, I'm not their lawyer. None of this is legally binding, but I just want to show them a little bit more.
That's awesome. I'm excited about it.
I know. She submitted it yesterday.
If you are in the group, we actually crowdsourced a cookie contract. In the file section, you can always partake in that. And it was done by everyone in the group, kind of came together, and it is honestly great. But
yeah, just a great way to. So let's go through text messages.
Okay.
So we got a few text messages here. Thanks for the podcast in the group. I'm learning so much. My question is about finding a niche or a sweet spot. My community has lots of cookies and I want to stand out. My gourmet drop cookies are unique so that I feature that a lot in my marketing. I also try to steer my branding in an edgy way. Think of more like rock and roll inspired and less of the pastels and cutesy branding that's more common around cookies. What are some other ways that I can stand out or hone in my sweet spot? Thanks for your input. P.S. My favorite twin is Cole Sprouse. It's the twins. Cole Sprouse.
All right, what's your tip on this? I'd be curious. You love a good branding.
So I want to explain a little bit about their question. Is they're saying my niche? That's your target audience.
Is it a niche?
I don't know.
Niche? Or I always say niche, but it could be niche.
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know. So niche.
I don't know.
Niche. Get your niche. Your target audience. And when we say niche, it's that specific person that you say, I can sell directly to this very specific group of people. The same way that we could just be like selling baked goods marketing group.
That's if broad. You were a gluten-friendly baker, niche. Your people that you're going to sell to need gluten-friendly
allergy sensitivity. So Gina Marie Burke taught sorry. That's all right. She taught a live this past week, but she has a gluten sensitive bakery.
Yeah, because her kids are gluten sensitive.
Right. So that's her niche, is that she's created this unique selling point. Now she leans into it so heavily because that's what's separating her from the other bakers. Mm-hmm. Now, what this 501 area code is asking is, I may not be different in the allergy sensitivity way, but my branding is unique. I'm a little bit more edgy. I'm a little bit more different in that, less cutesy, more rock and roll. So what's going to shift is she's not going to make a unicorn cookie for a little 5-year-old who dreams of princesses. She's going to make a unicorn rock and roll cookie for that edgy kid who likes wearing leather.
I honestly see it's that little unicorn and he's got a black leather jacket and he's like on the guitar.
Yeah. So what she's saying is, what can I do to differentiate? I would say your branding has to be very concise towards that niche, that you are on the edge, that you're edgy, and then your copy always must support that. If you have edgy cookies, but your copy is like, I love fairies, I think you're going to create a dissonance in your niche.
You need edgy packaging. It might be a little bit more expensive to get those black boxes or things like that.
Exactly.
But that's what, when you're saying your branding, that's what it has to carry through towards everything. So you're going to be rock and roll from A to Z. The way that your copy is a little bit more edgy written, the way that your branding is, all the way to the packaging when you drop off and everything like that.
I would lean into your entire brand. So if you're like, Cookies by Chanel, but you're like, I'm edgy, that's going to have, like Chanel, you think luxury packaging, luxury, dainty, things like that. If you're going to be edgy, you can kind of look into a name that incites that concept in the brain of your target audience.
There's a lady, she posted, I want to say sometime last year, but she always uses Tiffany blue boxes to deliver her cookies in. The town now knows her as the Blue Box Cookie Lady. So she has used her branding in her packaging to differentiate herself between her craft box competitors.
There you go. And that's a type of niche differentiator. When we say the buzzword differentiator, it's what makes you different than the next guy. Why, if I had 2 cookies in front of me, why would I choose you? here's the thing. If you niche down, that means you got a very hyper-targeted audience.
Yeah.
Those are the people you need to resonate with. Well, Heather, that's going to turn some people off. Absolutely. That's the point of niching it down.
Yes, because you are so hyper-focused on who's actually willing to pay you.
Yeah. So you can kind of say, well, when we reviewed the group rules, you're removing people who could pay you, Heather, for the cookie college. Yeah, I'm niching down to my ideal target audience at the expense of a few unideal target audiences, right? Mm-hmm. So when she's saying niche, she is eliminating some of her target, some of the audience to create a more hyper-focused target that really resonates. Those people have a higher propensity to convert into a sale.
Yeah.
So while it feels like, you often see people say, like, if I reach everybody, I could sell to everybody. Yeah. Actually, no, you kind of create a really...
It's actually a money loss. For our cookie classes, we don't have a lot of 20-year-olds that are in there. They're just not.
So we actually cut out marketing to 20-year-olds.
Yeah, we're talking to people who maybe work during the week, want something fun to do on the weekend, girls' night out, and we've elevated our marketing to reach like a little bit more mature of an audience, not someone who's looking to go clubbing, in the evening.
Yeah, and but you're saying, but 20-year-olds can still decorate cookies.
They can.
Absolutely, but a 55, we have a lady, I think she's in her 50s, she's renting out the entire class. She's paying for the entire class.
We said, well, a lot of times people don't have enough friends to rent out the place. And she's like, I don't care how many friends I have or the price. I just want to have fun with the few friends I can bring.
Yeah. So she said, I understand that you need to fill the room. She said, just tell me what it costs to fill it.
Yeah.
And that is my ideal client.
I said, well, sign you up right now.
Yeah, really nice person. Okay, I hope that helps. The way that you can really do that is make sure that if you're edgy, I want everything in your business to center around the word edgy.
Yeah.
From your email.
Copy pushing a little bit.
Yeah.
Your emoji usage are always going to be the edgy emojis.
If your cookie business was called Rock and Roll Cookies, I would be like, this is nailing it. Yeah. If that's the demographic that you're trying to reach. I think of black leather and neon accents, jewels, stuff like that. Yeah. Kind of that punk rock. You got neon colors, people dyeing their hair bright pink, kind of lean into that aesthetic. Okay, just wanted to say, another text 434, just wanted to say thanks for many, many great podcasts. Also, after following you for almost a year, I charged my first ever rush fee. No warning to the client, just added it to the invoice. The order was requested within 7 days of pickup. I had time, but I'd have to work extra late one evening, so I added $50 to a $290 invoice and said the invoice needed to be paid by noon the following day. What do you know? It was paid without question before noon the next day. She asked if I could deliver, and I said I was too busy, but she could pick it up at my location. She wrote back immediately and scheduled pickup. Easy. Least, and now I don't mind fitting in another 50 cookies. Oh, she said easy peasy, not easy. Not easy least. I may be slow, but I get there eventually. Rush fee for the win. Have a great week.
So that is honestly a great topic. At the end of the day, it's your business. However you want to run it is correct because it's yours. Some people say, hey, I don't charge a rush fee because if I can take the order on, it's worth it to me. Hey, 100%, do it to it. That's awesome. Other people, if you are busy, will say, hey, I can take your order on, but there's a small fee because I'm fitting you in before my 2-week book time. Then it's up to your customer. Hey, are these where I waited to the last minute? But I'm willing to pay this fee so I can get this order done so I can look like a rock star at my kid's birthday party. Mm-hmm. What it does is allow for the baker to be compensated for that. Now they will not be going to bed at an appropriate time. They'll be going to bed a little later, but they'll be compensated for it financially. So their extra time to squeeze you in is being compensated. Either way is fine. A lot of times we get questions about rush fees. A lot of times people will charge 20% of the order total. So a bigger order, you're going to have a bigger rush fee, and that's because that order takes a little bit more time. Somebody said, hey, I charge 100% rush fee if they order 2 days before the pickup date.
But at that point, I'd rather, as the consumer, have the option
double versus saying, as a consumer, if I'm that desperate to say, hey, I've dropped the ball, there is this wedding party that I have not gotten the cookies for, and the bride assumes I'm bringing cookies. How much is it?
The person who waits until 2 days before to place an order knows. They're living a life like that.
But they'd rather get the opportunity to say, like, yeah,
and they may be like, you're crazy for charging. And I'd be like, yeah, I am. I'm crazy. Yeah. And you'd be crazy to pay it, but some people will.
Last week I got an order, and she needed it done it was 1.5 days that needed to be dry and ready to go. And I did not have the time because I do work full time. So I was able to go to this local cookie group for people in my area and say, hey, this is going to be the fastest turnaround, but can anyone take it? A local lady ended up taking it and baking the order for her. So I don't know. Did she charge a rush fee? Who knows? But she was able to make this lady's dreams come true. So the client was happy with me because while I couldn't take her order, I said, hey, I'm not leaving you up the creek without a paddle. Let me find you somebody.
There's this symptom, and I agree that it comes from a place of logic. Why would I give that lead to somebody else? That means that person probably will never order from me again. You're right.
Never.
But you weren't going to take the order anyways, and you've just facilitated somebody else winning.
Yeah.
And actually two people winning because the person got their order taken, somebody else got to make money. You didn't have to take it. A triple win.
Yeah, and I was able to be the person who rescued my potential client by connecting them with the local baker. Will I probably never get her order again because she was happy with that?
Guess who will send you an order?
Probably the other baker
when they don't have a chance to. Okay, last text. Hi, twins. Abby Richardson from Rich Confections in Alabama. I'm doing a vendor event on Sunday and at a new local coffee shop and event space. I'm hoping to do cookie classes here soon. This is the first vendor event they've hosted, so we actually don't know how many to expect. What should I bake? And would you bake any other designs besides St. Patrick's Day? We're running a little bit behind.
Whoa.
Sorry. Also, I did free samples. Is it better to require them to like a social media account to give me their email address for email marketing? Thanks so much for sharing all your knowledge. So let's take the first question.
Okay.
I don't know how many people are showing up. What should I do? Here's the thing. She asked the right question. This is the first event. Otherwise, I'd say ask somebody who sold at their last event. If this is the first event and there's no known total, I would hedge your bets. I would ask them how many sales the company makes a day.
How much foot traffic are you getting in?
Then I'd say that you're not going to get a very concise number. You're going to get an estimate. Yeah. I'd rather have more product though than less if I plan to do a pop-up after.
Well, thanks, Heather. We know we want more product than less so you can make more sales than not.
Right. But even if you sold out, that's fine. That's a fine thing. You've tested your market, and then you can say to the store owner, like, whoa, that was a lot more successful. That was great.
In an hour.
Right. So I'd say that, unfortunately, there's no absolute, if there's no hard number, I can't give you a hard number, right?
Yeah.
A lot of people, I say, if you think there would be 100 people at an event, plan for 50 sales. I think that seems very dependent. I think that is a nice number that people find very pretty, but I don't think it's founded in anything that's numerical because you're going to need a little bit more data to derive that information.
Yeah, you just need a start off number. So a lot of times when someone's doing an event, they'll say, hey, here's our estimated people we think. We've sold this many tickets and we usually plan for this people. You can use that number and kind of bake off of that number. With this being you're the first of everything. The first of everything.
Right. If you could, and I would say, have you ever gone to like a theme park and they're counting how many people are walking through the ride? If you could almost grab one of those, and when you see people purchase from you at an event, your first event, you can say, okay, how much product did I bring? I brought 200 products. And I sold 100, but I only saw 50 people. That is math that we can derive solid numbers from. And things will change as you get closer to holidays and stuff like that. But you can start creating your own data points because your unique environment and how you sell and how you promote, what your products look like, and how you sell. And it's going to be so different than anybody else's. So I am leery of ever saying 50% of the total foot traffic is what you bake for. But the worst case is that you just have a pop-up or you find somebody else that you can partner with or find a donation strategy there and make it strategic.
What's our next question? Okay,
the next one is, would you bake any other designs besides St. Patrick's Day? I would, always.
Yes, there are, a unicorn PYL is good all year round. It gets people who maybe, like in this area, we're not crazy St. Patrick's Day.
Corey and I don't celebrate it because we don't have any friends. And it falls on a Wednesday.
Yes. So some people do. Maybe the younger crowd, I don't know. Maybe the single crowd, but I was definitely at home.
Yeah.
Eating cookies.
So if we went and there was only a St. Patrick's Day option, well, I wouldn't give them to anybody because I don't have any friends. And Corey and I weren't going to eat them.
Yeah. So if I was like, hey, I could bring these to work tomorrow, I'll give them to my coworker, Heather, I would be like, let me not grab St. Patrick's Day because I want her to not think that I
if I went to some like farmer's market and I saw some gamified cube art cookie, I could buy it for my nephew, Corey's kid, because that's what he likes. But if it was a St. Patrick's Day only theme, I'd be like, oh, this is themed out. That's really cool. St. Patrick's Day is going to absolutely slay with this set, but I won't be able to buy anything because I don't have anybody to give it to.
Yeah.
But I've bought myself some stuff. Even I don't celebrate because it looked delicious. So next question she asked Hold on. Where did it go? Oh, I did free samples. Is it better to require them to like a social media account or give me their email address for email marketing?
I like it, man.
I say you got both options. I'd say that you could, as long as you go in knowing exactly what you do. There's an incentive with giving somebody something for free. It's a type of marketing. And if I give you something, you're more inclined to buy something. That can be the goal of that, giving a product away. Now, if you say, hey, Heather, my intention for free product is to grow my email list, you could do that. I think you're kind of creating more of like a trade where they're like, well, I mean, you said it was free and now it's not. I'd say a raffle in exchange for their email address. Like, hey, I'll announce it tomorrow at 12. All I have to do is get your email address and you'll get this dozen cookies. Or you'll get a free ticket to my cookie class. They know that it is a fair trade. I'm giving you my email address for a chance to win something of a value of $68 a dozen if that's what you're charging. But I think if you're giving a free sample, the trade there is, hey, I'm giving you a free sample to give you an incentive to buy my product. I think that's what that is designed for. I think you're going to get more results that way rather than say, here's a free sample to get your email address. Also, I need you to buy my product. So we want to make sure that our marketing only has a few funnel steps. And I think you're going to get a better result from that one. Okay. I missed one. So let's swing back around to it. 469 area code from Kelly in Texas. Hey, lovely twins. I recently just joined the group and I immediately joined the college. Woohoo! I am new to everything business. I have almost listened to all the podcasts and I have a few questions. One, these lives that y'all talk about, are they saved somewhere? Can we go back and watch them? Yes, I actually created a spreadsheet for you guys. I'll actually post it in the group after this and find Kelly and tag her in it. But it's a spreadsheet of all the lives, who taught them, when they were taught, and what they're about. So you can just click in and find the Facebook Live. Now, here's the thing. I don't own the lives. The host, the teacher owns the lives. So if they do delete those, I have no way of getting them back. And that is up to the presenter if they want to delete their content. Now, I don't really think that happens often, but if you're like, why isn't this one showing up? That's why. Great question, though. Hold on. 2, I'm about to do a county fair vendor event. How in the world do I know how much product to take? They say 70,000 people won't be in attendance, but who knows if it's really that high. Corey stepped out to go take care of you. How's my cat?
Good.
So Kelly said, I immediately joined Sugar Cookie Marketing. I immediately joined the college. I have a couple questions.
Yay, okay.
Okay, she's saying, how much product do I bring? Again, Kelly, like we said in the other one, 70,000 people. You're not going to bake 70,000 cookies. That's what we can say is going to happen.
What was the math you had to work? Because someone said it's like 20% of foot traffic.
So do 70,000 times 0.2.
70,000
That's what they said. That's still going to be
40,000.
outrageous. What I'd say, Kelly, it sounds like this is a very dialed-in event. If you have that many people, somebody last year also, try to find them. If you can find somebody who sold jams, somebody within your food, somebody who sold a food product, you can kind of get an indicator of how much product they moved. And I think you'll find that a lot of these vendor-type people are very friendly.
Yeah.
They want to help each other out. So I would say ask them if you can get a list of some of their vendors last year just so you know how much product to bake. Okay, question 3. She numbered these. Thanks. I'm still debating who is my favorite twin. It would definitely be the one who can magically tell me the magic number of products to take. Well, I know I'm going to do sugar cookies and drop cookies, and I did listen to the podcast on that, and I already did the class on it. Thank you both so much. Love you both from Kelly from Texas. Kelly, that is great. Yeah, that is a confusing question, and we're going to see as the warmer months.
With 70,000, you can't bake enough.
But yeah, I would say have a contingency plan. I like to plan, hope for the best, plan for the worst. If I didn't sell enough product, if I'm left with 50% of my product, how can I move that product the next day, the next couple of days? And that's going to look like either another buddied up vendor event.
Yes.
Again, if you oversold your product, you're going to have, so I don't necessarily, vendor events do require some kind of output of income to rent the space.
They do.
Pop-ups are something you could kind of risk, like, hey, we're rescheduling this if you oversold.
Yeah, there's a way to do it.
At the end of the day, I don't think you're losing regardless. Okay, moving along here. The podcast sponsors.
Podcast sponsors. I will talk about Bakety Bake.
I want you to unsell me on the podcast sponsors. I want you to make me not buy from them.
If you don't like puffy icing, if you want to have a million holes poke through when you're trying to write the bride's name on your cookie, if you like a holy cookie in not a righteous way, don't buy the meringue powder royal batch. Don't even go to baketybakeIdaho.com. Do not use the code TWINS to save 10%. And whatever you do, do not be at your doorstep 2 days after you order because it usually gets it there that fast. Just be gone that day.
Yeah, if you want to suffer through your cookies, man, why would you even want that?
Do you hate silky icing? Uh-huh. Do you hate when your icing doesn't crust over fast enough?
Over-unselling me on that. Okay, I'm going to unsell you on cast iron.
Okay.
Do you feel like websites need to be earned, not given? Do you want to actually suffer through the process of building a website so that you feel that you survived the entire process? Do you like having stories to tell people about how miserable it was walking to school uphill both ways? Don't use cast iron. It's too easy. It's almost too easy. It's unfair for other people who have built websites and suffered through forcing Square to figure out how to let you do a custom order. Cast iron is too easy. It's for the weak. It's for the people who don't want to think about the website. We want, if you didn't build your website with tears in your eyes, did you really build a website? Don't use cast iron.
I feel like you used what I said to really build
the only way to do this.
Of what you did.
So great products.
Yours sounds so much better than mine.
Oh, okay, well, you can do the other one. Eddie.
Do you not like having a boyfriend? Do you like being alone on Valentine's Day? Do you like piping for 1,000,000 hours and then crying afterwards? Do you hate corporate orders? Do you hate growing your business?
Do you understand that you charge per hour, so saving more time means you make less?
Do you love it when you open your cupboard and all your stencils fall down on you, raining down on you at once because you don't have a good storage idea for them? Do you love airbrushing? Airbrushing.
Then don't buy an Edward.
Don't buy Eddie. I feel like we got it. Eddie is a direct-to-food printer for those just tuning in.
Does that confuse you?
Don't buy it. Bakety Bake is a company that makes a meringue powder called Royal Batch, and that is our other sponsor. And then Cast Iron is a free-to-you website made for bakers by bakers, and those are sponsors.
Don't buy from them.
Don't buy from them.
I think this is a much more exciting way to press the sponsor list.
I wish you would have told me so I had time to rehearse a little bit.
I did about it. Okay, wait, Twinterest.
Okay, go ahead.
I got a Fitbit, which I know you're like, Fitbit? Corey even said, that's weird. Didn't you have one?
I said they were like old
years
technology.
Ago? Yeah, but honestly, I was researching. So you remember the whole stress test? It was like, hey, your actual cortisol and cortisone levels are great, but your melatonin levels are whacked.
Me too, man.
And I was like, yeah, I do have a problem with sleeping. Clearly, I'm sleeping all the time, Corey says.
Yeah.
I'm trying to sleep. That's a problem. So I got this Fitbit, which has this sleep reporting thing. It's the like a newer feature. When I had a Fitbit 10 years ago, it didn't have these features.
I think it was like, wow, you woke up. Thanks.
Yeah. So now this Fitbit, it's interesting because I had to read a couple articles to understand how it works. It's got a 20% margin of error the first couple of times, but the data over time kind of gives you a more interesting, concise experience. So it says like it records your restorative sleep, which is a type of sleep, your deep and REM sleep, which is dreaming sleep, or the paralysis sleep of like you're completely out of it. And then it actually says most people wake up 5 to 10 times per night. And last night during it, so it's based off of how much movement I have, my heart rate, and my body temperature. That's how it's creating this sleep score. Okay. If I move a lot, but my heart rate is low, I'm probably in this dream sleep or something. And then if I don't move a lot and my heart rate is low, I'm in this deep sleep. Or I have passed away lovingly in my sleep. It says we can only dream. But it says like, oh, your heart rate is up and you're moving. I was awake 47 minutes last night. And it says most people don't remember this, but you were within a 20% margin of error. So at least 30 minutes I was awake.
Yeah.
And it's like, hey, that's absolutely fine. Just here's when that's happening. And then you can make decisions based off your sleep score. Do I need to go exercise more and create more of a cardiovascular thing, or an anaerobic thing? Or do I need to start fixing my thing? Has a meditation feature too. My thing is to work on lighting. So at night,
Heather used to go to sleep. This was bonkers to me. If I go on vacation with Heather, she's like, I cannot sleep unless the TV is on. I cannot sleep with the TV on.
I gotta get some forensic files in.
Heather could just doze away to the words, but my brain couldn't turn off. My brain was trying to comprehend the words.
Yeah.
That was miserable.
Yeah. Anyways, they say don't do that. So they say like, full blackout curtains, no light leak, no light pollution.
Yeah,
white noise does help. But I'm really focusing on light. So they said like very dim lights around an hour to 30 minutes before you go to bed is going to allow.
Light filter on your phone.
He said the blue light. Oh, I was listening to a podcast. The guy's like, the blue light filter has some science to it. It's not completely backed like people think it is. Yeah. But the thing is, light does affect your melatonin production. And honestly, they suggest not taking melatonin as a supplement. Do your research. It was interesting. Read the Huberman podcast. He's a Stanford scientist, and he talks about melatonin and how it's naturally produced and how manufactured melatonin kind of throws things a bit.
Okay.
Anyways, I really like it. So Corey said, I said, look, I got this yesterday. And she's like, you dweeb, and immediately bought one. Here's the marketing psychology. It gave you 3 shipping times. Normal was just free, which was a week. Expedited, which was it was just $10, and you got it in 5 to 7 business days. And overnight, which is $20, and you got it tomorrow. Mm-hmm. Corey, who called it a dweeby thing, did overnight shipping. And my grandma said it's because you guys are twins and you guys can't let each other win.
Heather said,
we can be friends.
Play a game on it.
We can have a year goal and do a contest on this stuff. What's your Twitterist?
My Twitterist is Papine. Papine.
Corey's got a sticker on her wrist.
Papine.
Of B12. Okay. You got one twin coming off of supplements, one twin going on.
Energy, we're always looking for it. So I said, I'm going to try these little B12 sticker things. You put it on your...
What are you trying to solve?
I want more energy, man. I want to be alert all day.
But I think both sleep and alert are
I love
integrated.
Sleep.
I know. I
love it.
I know.
So this is my way. Guys, you should see my nighttime routine. I'm like spritzing the bed with peppermint. Lavender is filling the room. Lavender.
You have blackout curtains.
Blackout curtains. Everything's quiet.
Except for Ray.
Oh.
That's your
Ray and Nate.
Corey lets the dog sleep in the cage in their room, though, but he's licking his elbow?
No, so it's a bulldog. So his snoring ability is
Breathing
out of this
apparatus?
world. Does he snores? All the time. But Nate snores as well. I'm a sound sleeper, man.
They also said that temperature has a big effect on sleep.
So we make it very cold.
But you turn into burrito.
I burrito myself. I have 3 blankets.
When Corey and I go on vacation, I want to say we're not twins. We just happen to look similar. We are twins. But she is so... Almost you got to be sweating.
Oh.
You must be in a puddle. That's got to be crazy for your poor little bod. Bod's like, man, I'm just trying to...
I like to burrito in. So I honestly look like just a little tiny head surrounded by blanket.
But you're sweaty.
Yeah, but Nate likes the house so cold. Like 68 to 65
Nate's
to 68
guy
is insane.
Who overheats a lot, I guess.
Yes, he overheats. So he sleeps with no blanket. I sleep with 3 blankets.
That's crazy.
But just if I get in there, it's like the weight of the world can't reach me, man. Beyond those blankets, I am protected.
I'm more of like one leg out to cool my body off, even if the monster gets it.
I'll stick a little toe out in the middle of the night.
You need me to bring it back in.
So I'm seeing if these V12 patches is
what if you can't sleep
placebo effect. I wore it yesterday.
Placebo.
A placebo.
You wore the
patch.
Do you sleep well?
I always
do. You even know without a Fitbit?
I take a melatonin.
Well, Corey gets her Fitbit tomorrow, so she'll be getting some steps.
I'll let you know.
Okay, guys, that is it for the podcast. Sorry, Corey was such a bummer with the whole rules thing. But I hope that makes a lot of sense for you guys. Honestly, you've created a really great group. I just looked at the time. We're at 1 hour and 30. Are you kidding me?
Holy cannoli.
Okay, bye. We gotta go.